on, and if you're not, I'm going to post this in a sec here, so we should be good. But this is what you see when you first start and what opens up. And it tells you where to go and all this jazz inside of the model from Sculpted Body. So when I open up Fusion, this is your end result. This is what we're trying to do. Why are we learning this? What happens then and what your next project is without going into extreme detail is you're going to have to create a three-dimensional object from a two-dimensional object using a laser engraver. Okay? So you're going to have to design something that's originally two-dimensional and then pop those pieces out to create something that's three-dimensional, glue it together, slide it together, whatever the case may be. Okay? So in that case, it's important to understand that you guys, the easier route to go is to build something as a solid model and then reverse it, right? To break it apart. This whole entire project and this whole entire activity that we're going to do today does exactly that. It starts out with a solid model, and then you guys break it into a million pieces to basically make those pieces as if you were in the real world. Okay? So this is basically an X-Acto knife, and this is what you want it to do. You want it to be hollow in the inside of it, and you want to have multiple pieces. Now this is what you start out with, which is where we need to get to. So if you go to Basic Training, you go to Modeling, and then you go to the very bottom or top, you'll see Model from Sculpted Body. And basically, I'm going to delete all the stuff that I did before, just so I can get back to where we were at. Okay, so now this is what you should have. You should have just this, basically this body mass that's not a component. It does nothing but just be a blob. So if you click, the first thing that it tells you to do is save this thing, and it's got the lock. You go to the file, save as, and you change the name. Okay. The next thing it tells you to do is kind of turn some things on because there's a lot here that are missing. First thing we're going to do is turn on the sketches, and that allows you to kind of see, some of the constraints and all that jazz that are on here. This moves the blade, in and out kind of deal, and it shows a couple other things that we're going to modify a little later. But you're going to use these sketches to help you split this piece up. And again, this is all one piece right now. So if you look at the document, it tells you to save it as, do all that jazz, blah, blah, blah. We're going to use what's called splitting a body. And what this does is it uses either profiles or lines to separate masses into multiple pieces. So you go to Modify, you go to Split Body in this case. Now you can also use this one up here, but whatever you want to do. And then it asks you for what body to split. Obviously there's only one body to select here. Then you have to select the splitting tool up here. And then you're going to select this first part right here. Now this red part is basically the plane, the congruent plane, or this free-flowing plane that the piece is going to be split into. When I press OK, nothing looks like it happens. But now you can see I have multiple pieces within that plane. Okay? We're going to do that again. We're going to press Modify, Split Body, and we're going to select that body. Again, not this body because it's already split. The bigger body. Splitting tool again. And again, we're going to turn that sketch back on now. And you're going to see another little groove right here, and you can read all this if you don't, if this is all too fast. And it looks again, now it's separating this, basically this top little portion, looks like this, out. You press OK, and now again, I turn the grid on, you're going to see that it kind of split that piece up, and now we should have multiple bodies. So we got this body, we have this body. Oh, it didn't look like it split it, did it? Let's try split body again. We want that. Select that. There we go. Press OK. There we go. So now you see how it separated this body. It didn't do it the first time. I don't know why. And you'll see this other little piece. But again, these are bodies. Can we do anything with bodies? You can only do things with components. Okay. Remember that later on. What's that? You can't even print a body. Nope. So in this case, you're going to have these multiple pieces. Now what it's going to tell you to do, and this is where it gets funky. So we got this first part done. We split it all to pieces. And then it tells you to rename body 1 into grip 1, body 1-1 into grip 2, and body 1-1-1 into knife body. Let's literally do all that. Now, my problem is those names change dramatically in the document. They are wrong. They just don't make any sense. So I'm going to try and fix this to make it understand as best I can. This is called grip 2, this little top piece. This back piece is called grip 1. And you just double click, and it's able to change these names. Grip 1, enter, and then the body, this middle portion, double click again, and then you'll call this one knife body. Okay, so we got all these pieces, we renamed them, and then the next part it tells you to do is to click, hold shift, click the other one, and copy and paste this. Copy, click anywhere in the white La La Land area, press paste, press OK. And then you can see that nothing looks like it happened, but you're going to see that there's multiple grips now in multiple places. You're going to click off grip 1 and grip 2. What that does is it allows those two grips to not be modified, but these two to be modified. Okay, so let's go back to the document here. We already done, we just made those new names. In activity 2, it starts saying to copy those, like I just did, paste them, like I just did, and then it says to press and pull. So select grip 1 and 2, turn them off the visibility. I just did that. Then it says to select and right-click, press and pull. Click grip 1, 2, and 2, 1, the weird one, the copies that we made. So we're going to basically click, what are we clicking, sorry? Oh, press pull. So you go to press pull, and you're going to select, and it shows you here, and this is kind of weird, you got to select all the faces according to those bodies, those two bodies. You can't just click over here and click these two pieces. So that's this back, that's this here. Okay? Don't forget to turn around the body and click it around to do that. Now, please, for the love of all that is sacred, don't pull this arrow. I've crashed Fusion now 6 times today because I pulled that arrow. If you pull the arrow, it freaks out. No, I'm not pulling it. Stop. If you go to distance and just type in 1 and press automatic, it'll mess it all up and do all that jazz. We want -1. And it'll go in the opposite direction, you press OK. Now it looks like it just basically cut into the part that much, and that's basically all it did, was remove those pieces. Now if I put those other grips back, you'll see that those are kind of separate pieces. What I'm doing is I'm removing parts and adding those same parts over and over again. Why am I doing that? If I take this grip 1 and grip 2 and cut it out, how would I get those pieces to move back into those perfect places again, ever again? I'd have to redraw them, right? If I copy and paste them, it's going to copy and paste the cut if I cut them. So in this case, what they did was they copied them before, then they cut the non-original after turning these two off, so that then later we can mess with these two and put them back, and they're still there. Okay, and I'll show you what I mean in a second here. So I turned those still off. Those are good. We did that. And this is basically what you're going to see. Now this is where it gets silly. The names, totally jacked up. You're going to press the combine tool. When you go to here, and I hope this works, I'm praying it works on this video. You're going to press combine. Now you can either press this 2 boxes here, or you can press combine here. Doesn't matter. You're going to leave it as join. Read these, please, perfectly. If you screw these up and switch them around, it's going to mess the whole problem up. So you're going to press target body. If you read the directions, it says the target body is knife body from the body's browser. So, knife body. Then it automatically switches to tool bodies. If I go to tool bodies, it says to click grip 2. If you look at the drawing, it's basically this little piece up here. Now, hopefully, because I selected the weird one, right, this one, it's right now, so thank God I changed the names correctly. So if you change the names like you see in the video in the beginning, all the names match the document. Whew, good. So leave these two unchecked, and all I did was I press those two, I press OK. Again, it doesn't look like anything happened. That's good. All that I did there was I basically combined those two, so now when I press the knife body, they're together. Okay? I'm going to go back. Target body is knife body again, and the tool body is the other grip. So now I'm going to go back, and I'm going to press combine again. My target body is the knife body. My tool body is now grip 1, which is the back part, and I'm going to press OK. Now when I click knife body, it's all the same. I'm just combining those new parts I made with the existing body, so that now these cuts are all part of this one body. Okay? I know that's confusing, but that's basically what it is. If I bring those other parts back, they're now separate parts. Okay? So I'm going to come here, and then the next part is to cut those pieces. So it says to cut grip 1. It says to keep tools, do all that jazz. We're going to grip 1, body, target body, knife body, tool bodies was grip 1, join, keep tools is unchecked. Click OK to finish. Scroll down, now it says to cut. Modify, combine again. Even though we're cutting, we're going to go to combine. We're going to change this to cut. We're going to change the target body, and it says to grip 1. Grip 1. The tool body, if I look at it, is the knife body. Knife body. Looks like it's going to cut away. This now, you do check the keep tools. Okay? Click keep tools, you press OK. It doesn't look like anything happened, that's good. All I did there was I made that so that this grip 1 cut away from that part so I could move it and it would fit perfectly where we originally had it. The next part, you scroll down, target body is grip 2. Now we're going to take the grip 2 and take it away from the target or the knife body. So same thing, combine, leave this as cut. The target body is what we want to make happen. The tool body is what we want to remove it from. Keep tools, press OK. It's all good. Fusion again, that's what it should look like. Does it look like that? Yeah. If I change these and you want it perfectly, you can just go to shaded and then those pieces are just shaded. If you want to take those sketches out, that's even more so. If you want to take the origin out, now it's identical. Okay? Bring all that stuff back just for the sake of this activity. So you go back, you're going to see that part's done. Part 3 is easy now. Now we're going to start getting into the easy stuff. So you're going to say design, solid, modify, inside thickness. Now this whole entire piece should be one solid piece. We're going to bring those pieces back. We are going to, I'm going to make the display back to normal. And then I'm going to say shell. Shell basically just hollows out the inside of these pieces. Okay, so I'm going to shell out actually all these pieces, and I'm going to shell it out to be one inside of it. And I'm going to leave that target chain. I'm going to press inside. Oop, the average cannot be maximum with shape change. Try adjusting the values or change the input geometries. Okay, let's cancel that. Let's just do the inside. Nope, still not doing it. Oh, now I can't. Okay, good. So now I did the knife body. It tells me to do that. I did the whole entire knife body, and now I'm good. It says to do to split the body is the last part. So I'm going to come into here, and now this is the tricky part. So you see this origin right here, right? We can't click on it. I try and do split. Again, splits right here. I try and select the body that I want to split. I try and select the splitting tool, and I can't click. It tells you to zoom in. It tells you to do all this. It's so impossible. Go over here. Click the origin. Click this bottom one. That is what basically the perfect center of this object is going to be. I press OK. And the last part is to create components. Very last part. So I'm going to remove those sketches. I'm going to click all these bodies. Shift. Right click. Create components from bodies. And now they all pop up as different colors and all that jazz. Now when I move them, they will all be separate individual parts that are now shelled out. Okay? So now each of these parts are components. Each of them are hollowed out into different shapes, different pieces. And now I can put them together as if they were originally. This was basically what we started with and what we wanted to get to. You put this in an isometric view, swing it over, take a picture of it like that. I would turn the origin off just to make it look pretty. And then that's it. Easy peasy, right? Now you have a couple days to do this, so don't freak out. Go ahead and get to work, guys.